Internet censorship sucks. Needing an ID to access certain websites and certain services really sucks. I mean, you're about to tell me that I need to put in my ID to access Spotify? I mean, what kind of music can I listen to on Spotify that's gonna violate my ears enough that I need to put in my ID? I can just go down to the store and buy one of Morgan Wallen CDs, and that's gonna do even more damage than anything else I would listen to on that platform. And now YouTube has also implemented age verification, where it has this whole AI algorithm checking to see whether users are under or over 18. And we know just how wonderful AI has been when looking at the internet as a whole. It's saying that it's going to be using what you watch and what you search up to really narrow down what your age is. So if you're someone that's been watching a lot of gameplay videos from your favorite YouTubers from like 10 years ago, hell, you're fucked, because it's going to think that you're a little kid that's still watching this brain rot content. And websites like these aren't the only thing that require verification, because now video games like GTA 6 are having talks where basically they're planning on implementing ID verification if you want to access portions of the game, like GTA Online, when the game is already rated M for mature. So that means verification should have been done when the game was purchased, whether through an application like Steam, or whether it be going into an actual physical store and being an 18-year-old and actually buying the game there, because they're not going to let a little kid walk in and just purchase it right there at a GameStop. I mean, I tried that when GTA 5 came out. This extra step that we've got over here is completely unnecessary, and it is a breach of privacy. And now the defeatists and the bootlickers among us are gonna probably be saying, well, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to put your ID in. I mean, they already have your information, and plus you can still access that website or that game. It's just that you're gonna be more limited until you put in that info, when in reality that shouldn't even be a conversation. You didn't want to give your ID to Spotify? Well, that 10-year-old Spotify account that has all of your amazing playlists and all those bands that you never knew existed is gonna be deleted because you just made them so upset that you didn't want to go with their new rules. They're gonna be really mad that you didn't care about the safety of the children. Oh, the children. Because that is the reason that any of this is being done, right? When we're looking at the UK right now, they're having a lockdown on the internet. You need to put in your ID so that you can access the internet. And also, not just that, they're gonna be monitoring every single thing that you do. It's a thought police that's going around. And it's not just something that has stayed in the UK, because it is infecting the world globally. This isn't something here in America where it could be discussed as a Republican or Democrat issue. This is a personal, every human being issue. Every single company on this planet is vying for your information, and the government is letting them basically do whatever they want to gain access to that information, under the pretense that this is going to protect kids and children from disturbing content that they might see online, when in reality, the people that should be actually stopping that stuff should be parents who actually pay attention to their children. I mean, the warning signs have been here for years now, really. First, the government, companies, advertisers, they all go against the illicit websites. You need to have an ID to access those certain websites. And a lot of people are on board with that because they're like, well, those websites are supposed to be only for people 18 and up. So an ID verification makes sense there. Slowly, those laws start to permeate through the entire internet because they're now like, well, people have been putting in their IDs just to access those websites. So of course they're gonna do it for these other websites too. They're pushing just how much you can give them. And it is only getting worse. I mean, isn't it so crazy that right now the world is currently having this big global movement where everywhere is having this happen? You used to hear stories about, oh, how oppressive China is for having their own version of the internet that censors everything. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is already on a crash course to the exact same concept. It is so irritating, and it is branching out further than just things like the internet. I mean, just think about it. Things like anime are also going to be censored going forward in the future, potentially. Anything your government doesn't like or thinks is a little bit obscene or a little bit too risque, they can do whatever they want to take that away, unless you do or say something about this. I mean, I'm someone that as a hobby makes YouTube videos. I got to the point where I actually got to be able to put in my info to gain a little bit of chump change there anytime that I get above a certain threshold. So yeah, YouTube does have some of my information, but I also have things like other accounts where I have a ton of my other subscriptions from. Every single thing that you do, everything that you search, everything like that should not be contained and held against you, because that is exactly what this privacy invasion is doing. I mean, just think about it. If you put in your ID, anytime you search up a symptom of what might be wrong with you, anytime you ask a question about finances or maybe debt because you just ran into some unexpected issues, YouTube is gonna be able to sell your personal information to companies that are gonna be able to use that information against you. Things like that are the issue. And just because a company might already have some of your personal information doesn't mean you should give all of your information to them. I mean, you might think yourself as someone that has nothing to hide. Someone that has nothing working against you, that you haven't done anything in any way on the internet that could negatively affect you. But you really underestimate your digital footprint. All of your addresses, your credit card information, any email that's been scanned in by whatever Gmail, Hotmail provider you have, the kinds of movies you watch, the kinds of videos you see, the kinds of ads that pop up and you click on, the kinds of things that you select on Amazon web pages, Target, Best Buy web pages, anytime you've gone on Reddit and asked the question, anytime you've upvoted anything, the amount of time you spend on a video game. All of these different things paint a picture about you. And all of these things are useful to some company and some person out there that is trying to make a quick buck. Because they know that for whatever reason, since you're planning to make that trip, since you're trying to buy that house and you're trying to get your credit checked, since you're trying to get that medical injury fixed, there is something in that file, in that profile of you that they can use to basically say, this guy doesn't make that one payment on time, let's bring up whatever that amount is by so-and-so amount. Let's make that trip ticket cost a lot more because he can afford it, because he needs it for that specific day. They have the information and they have all of the leverage against you because of that. And if that isn't enough, the people that are spearheading these movements are really something. I mean, isn't it interesting that the worst kinds of people are the ones that are most tied to this? Now, I don't like painting the picture that we're going into an authoritarian regime where it's gonna become 1984 or something like that. I feel like the world would end before it even gets to that point. But there are things that we can still do to prevent anything like that from happening, because you can still choose to opt out. Use things like VPNs. Use things like different operating systems to get around every kind of check or every kind of requirement that is needed. You still have a choice. There are still alternatives out there. Once companies see that you are not willing to give up that personal information, they will back off. Because the thing that is most important to them isn't morals, isn't your freedom, it's money. So when you stop giving them money, that's when they're actually gonna start paying attention to everyone. But shucks, the state of the internet right now really, really sucks. I mean, I just came back from like a month of not making YouTube videos and it feels like the entire landscape has just completely changed overnight. It's disappointing to see, but it isn't just entirely hopeless. Who knows what the outcome is gonna be, but things like this becoming the new normal are absolutely terrifying. But with this, I guess that ends off my thoughts on this entire thing that's been going on. So I gotta know, what do y'all think about this? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to know what y'all think. And as always, I was Randy, and I'll be seeing y'all next time.